Point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
Is there a relationship between being funny and intelligent?
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
While we might think of humor as mere amusement, beneath every joke lies a hidden layer of complexity, abstract thinking, social insight, and creativity. When we laugh, we engage in a mental dance that stretches our intellect, connects us to others, and hints at something deeply rooted in our fundamental nature.
Full circle. I knew then it was time to die.
Cognitive research shows that understanding a joke requires abstraction, mental flexibility, and creativity. Imagine recognizing a punchline. It means spotting connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, detecting subtleties, and grasping hidden meanings.
And so, Greg Giraldo went to law school.
Are we really as happy as a country? Are people really laughing out loud as often as they say that? Because
Humor asks us to think beyond the literal, interpreting context, language, and subtext all at once.
It seems like there's a fine line between having a pet and having a hostage from a different species.
This involves intricate cognitive processes that activate multiple brain regions. Initially, the prefrontal cortex detects incongruities by identifying unexpected elements. Once this incongruity is recognized, the brain resolves it through reinterpretation or shifts in perspective, engaging the superior temporal sulcus in the temporal lobes. In the final stage, there's a triggered emotional response primarily managed by the limbic system, which includes the amygdala and nucleus accumbens, which regulate reward and pleasure. Neuroimaging studies support this model. For example, research by Wald et al. In 2003 demonstrated that humor processing activates the mesolimbic reward pathway, linking humor to the brain's pleasure and reward centers. Empirical studies suggest that a relationship between humor and intelligence is strong. People with higher verbal intelligence, for example, often excel at crafting and understanding humor. Their mental dexterity enables them to manipulate language and ideas quickly, turning contradictions into laughs. But humor doesn't solely rely on verbal wit. It also engages the brain's executive functions, working memory, cognitive flexibility, and self-control, all essential elements of problem solving and adaptation. To be funny, you need to recognize what is funny. Humor then is not just clever wordplay, it's a whole brain activity that flexes our cognitive muscles. There's a powerful link here to emotional intelligence. This ability to perceive, manage, and use emotions constructively often goes hand in hand with humor. People with high emotional intelligence frequently use humor to navigate social situations, diffuse tension, and bond with others. In other words, humor becomes a social tool, a way to bridge divides and foster emotional connections. It's intelligence in action, not a form of calculation or theorizing, but in the delicate, deeply human art of relating to one another.
Myself is not super adorable or
The relationship between humor, creativity, and problem solving is also well documented, with multiple cognitive processes underlying this connection. Humor and creativity both rely on divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple ideas or associations. This skill is crucial for recognizing alternative meanings in jokes and is equally valuable in problem solving. Comedy also demands cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift perspectives to appreciate a certain punchline or twist. This flexibility is a valuable skill for problem solving, allowing individuals to view challenges from diverse angles. The aha moment of a sudden realization in humor mirrors the insights required for problem solving, as both require a reconfiguring of understanding to integrate new information. Research by Kohler et al. In 2010 found that people skilled in humor appreciation and production often perform better at creative problem solving. They found that there's a positive correlation between humor production ability and creative thinking. Additionally, research by Kai et al. In 2014 suggests that humor training intervention can enhance creativity and problem solving abilities. Participants who completed humor training sessions showed improved performance on creative tests, underscoring humor's power in sharpening our problem solving skills. Broader than emotional intelligence, there's an element of social intelligence, ability to navigate the social world around us, interpret other people's emotions, and respond accordingly. Humor, it turns out, plays a central role in that laughter strengthens social bonds, creates a shared experience that signals understanding, empathy, and acceptance. Laughter can be used as a signal of friendliness, trust, and cohesion. And humor in a social context requires a nuanced understanding of social cues and norms, and an intuitive sense of timing, appropriateness, and shared context. Socially intelligent comedy isn't just funny, it's a gesture of connection. To craft a joke or to even understand one, you have to step outside yourself and consider how it might land with others. This skill is rooted in empathy and social understanding, showing how humor not only reveals social intelligence, but also sharpens it. In social dynamics, humor plays an equally significant role fostering bonds, enhancing communication, and providing psychological resilience. Comedy can also be a tool in social contexts to effectively persuade others and to convey a certain message or diffuse tensions by allowing indirect expressions of, say, uncomfortable or tense ideas. It can delineate social groups as well. Shared humor can signal sort of in-group status, while not understanding humor can imply social distance or ostracization. Humor can also serve as a group coping mechanism, providing psychological distance from stress and helping people manage anxiety. From an evolutionary perspective, humor's role becomes even more compelling. Evolutionary theorists have proposed that humor may have been favored as an adaptive trait. For instance, humor could have played a role in sexual selection. A well-timed joke hints at intelligence, creativity, and even genetic fitness, making humor an attractive trait in potential partners. The widespread appeal of a sense of humor across cultures may suggest that it's a signal of mental agility, which is a trait beneficial for survival and adaptation. In early human societies, laughter likely brought people together, strengthening social bonds and fostering cooperation. The ability to make others laugh and laugh together and find joy in shared experiences can make communities more resilient and united in the face of challenges. It's a valuable skill, so in a very real sense, humor may have been essential to our survival, a tool as vital as intelligence itself. The modern application of humor and comedy are still impactful in education, workplace dynamics, therapeutic settings, and social discourse. In education, humor increases student engagement, motivation, and retention, making learning more enjoyable and memorable. In the workplace, humor creates a positive environment, enhancing team cohesion and stimulating creativity. Leaders who use humor appropriately are often perceived as more approachable and effective. It contributes positively to the morale of that community. In a therapeutic context, humor therapy has shown benefits for mental health, stress reduction, and improved coping for individuals facing chronic illness or psychological challenges. More broadly, in a social context, humor serves as a tool for critical commentary, cultural discourse, and challenging norms and encouraging people to reflect on social issues in a more enjoyable and casual medium. The connection between comedy and intelligence is anything but simple.
What's the most complex thing you do in your kitchen?
Comedy can enhance problem solving and creativity through shared cognitive processes, including divergent thinking, cognitive flexibility, and novel associations. And understanding the intellectual elements of comedy is a core part of understanding who we are.
Worry about